Assistant Manufacturing and Trade Minister Tim Ayres has spent the week in Switzerland meeting with officials on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum. And while there, he reached a breakthrough with the Chinese delegation. Both parties have agreed their senior trade ministers will meet virtually in coming weeks. It would be the first meeting in more than 3 years. I got the inside story with Tim Ayres a short time ago.
Oh, g'day, Ed. It's good to be on the show. I mean, every dialogue at ministerial level is useful and helpful. The new government's made it clear that we're open to and keen to pursue dialogue on all of the issues in the bilateral relationship. Anthony Albanese's meeting with President Xi was an important juncture. There have been a series of other ministerial engagements, and this has been just another one of those. It is an important and useful development that there will be a face-to-face meeting of the Australian and Chinese trade ministers over the coming weeks.
Yeah, do you get a sense that China are willing to eventually start reducing the restrictions on about $20 billion worth of Australian products exported?
Well, these impediments that have been put in the way of Australian exports to China are certainly not in the interest of Australian exporters, but they're not in the interest of Chinese consumers either. The best time to withdraw those impediments would have been over the last couple of months. We're encouraging the Chinese side to withdraw those impediments as an important part of stabilising the relationship. It's an important step that should be undertaken by China, and I hope that happens soon.
Look, you've been at Davos for the past few days in Switzerland. What's it been like? Has recession been the main theme, or is it a bit more positive and upbeat than that?
Well, there's mixed views about the state of the global economy, but it is an important opportunity, I think, for those economic issues to be canvassed. There's certainly deep concerns about the impact of Russia's illegal war on Ukraine on the global economy. Deep concern about inflationary pressures right around the globe. I'm not an economic commentator, but it's certainly the case that there's real pressure in the global economy, and that the risks of recession in some of our key global partners have intensified, not retreated over the course of the last few months.
Yeah, I also want to talk about Australia as a place for foreign investment. Look, your government have recently introduced some price caps on coal, gas, and introduced a carbon price ceiling. Has anyone overseas been talking to you about those new policies? Aren't those changes making companies hesitant to invest in Australia?
I don't believe so. Australia has got a very strong reputation around the globe as a stable place to invest, but even more importantly than that, the dialogue that I've been having with global companies that have got an interest in investing in Australia has been about the Albanese government's industry policy priorities. It's been about the National Reconstruction Fund and the Powering the Nation Fund, and the opportunities that creates for investment from Australian partners and overseas partners in industrial capability, in national infrastructure. There's a high level of interest in the industrial opportunities in Australia, and that has been a high priority for the government. I've been really pleased to see it being reflected in the discussions that I've had with business leaders from around the world who see enormous opportunity in Australia. Our approach on energy more broadly, our approach on industry and rebuilding Australian manufacturing has garnered a very significant amount of overseas interest.